Greetings, you're on Riding the Wire. Where do you hail from?
Long-time listener, first-time caller. This is Mark.
Thank you for calling, Mark. What is your story?
Well, I want to share a story with you all about some of my latest technological breakthroughs in detecting paranormal activity. You know, as a self-proclaimed ghost hunter and inventor, I've had my fair share of haunted experiences. But let me tell you, this one is truly out of this world. I was testing out a new device I've been working on in the heart of New Orleans, known for its rich history of paranormal activity. As I walked through the unlit streets, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. But that's when things got really interesting. As I approached an old dilapidated mansion, my device started beeping like crazy. I mean, like insistently. So being the curious that I am, I decided to investigate further. As I stepped inside, I could feel a chill run down my spine. But then all of a sudden I saw it. A ghostly apparition right before my eyes. It was a woman dressed in a long flying gown with her hair pulled back in a tight bun. And let me tell you, she looked positively ethereal. As I stood there frozen in place, the woman began to speak to me. But with, of course, being a ghost and all, she spoke in a language that only my device could understand. Using my device's translation feature, I was able to decipher what she was saying. And let me tell you, it was something that would make even the bravest person shiver in fear. But that's another story for another time. The point is, my device proves to be a crucial tool in helping me communicate with the ghostly realm. Who knows, maybe one day I'll even be able to understand them without the need for any fancy gadgets. So there you have it, folks. Just another day in the life of Mark, the inventor and paranormal detective extraordinaire. Keep tuning in for more spooky tales and technological breakthroughs. You know, if you dare.
Oh, Mark, that's quite the story. I can only imagine what it must be like to encounter a ghostly apparition in person. Can you tell us more about the mansion and its history? And do you have any idea who this woman might have been?
Well, the mansion was called the Shadow's Embrace, and it had quite a dark reputation in the community. Rumors circulated that it was once a brothel run by a notorious madam who dabbled in the occult. Legend had it that she had summoned dark forces to do her bidding, and in doing so, had cursed the mansion with an eternal haunting. And let me tell you, the place gave off some serious vibes of dread and despair. As for the woman, well, that's where things get really interesting. Using my device's translation feature, I was able to decipher that she was a former servant of the madam who had been caught in the middle of her nefarious schemes. The woman had been cursed by the madam as punishment for her betrayal, and had been doomed to wander the halls of the mansion for all eternity. But here's the kicker. She wasn't just any ghost. No, siree, she was a vengeful spirit with an insatiable thirst for justice. And as I stood there face to face with her ghostly apparition, I could feel her burning gaze staring from me. But then, to my surprise, she spoke in perfect English. "Mark, you have stumbled upon the truth of what happened here at the Shadow's Embrace," she said. "And now that you know, you must help me put an end to this curse." Well, I don't know about all that vengeful spirit stuff, but I didn't know that I had to get out of there before I ended up as the next victim of my own wrath. So I quickly packed up my devices and made a hasty exit. But before I left, I couldn't help but wonder, what other secrets does this haunted mansion hold? And who else might be lurking in the shadows waiting to strike? But that's another story for another time. For now, folks, all I can say is that if you ever find yourself in New Orleans, be sure to stay away from the Shadow's Embrace. Who knows what kind of haunted experiences await you there?
Well, Mark, I must say that your story is truly out of this world. The idea of a haunted mansion with a cursed servant who seeks vengeance is certainly spooky. I wonder what other paranormal experiences you've had in your line of work as a ghost hunter and inventor. Are there any other technological breakthroughs that have helped you in your quest to understand the beyond?
Well, I've had my fair share of strange and otherworldly experiences in my line of work. But let me tell you about one that really took the cake. I was called to investigate a haunting in an old abandoned factory on the outskirts of town. The place had been shut down for decades, but rumors persisted that it was still haunted by the ghosts of the workers who had died on the job. As I walked through the dark, dank corridors of the factory, I could feel an oppressive sense of dread weighing down on me. But then out of nowhere, my device started beeping like crazy. I mean, like insistently. So being the curious that I am, I decided to investigate further. As I approached the source of the noise, I saw a group of shadowy figures hovering around an old rusted machine. And let me tell you, they looked positively terrifying. But then, to my surprise, the ghosts started speaking to me. They told me their stories. Tales of accidents and tragedies that had claimed their lives in the factory. And as I listened, I realized that this place was more than just a haunting. It was a tragedy that had been left unsolved for too long. So I got to work using my latest technological breakthrough to help the ghosts find peace and move on. And let me tell you, it was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life as a paranormal investigator. Who knows where the mysteries lie hidden in the shadows waiting to be uncovered. But for now, folks, I've got more haunted tales and technological innovations to share with you. So stay tuned, because this is Mark, the inventor and paranormal detective extraordinaire, signing off.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing your incredible story with us. I must say that your dedication to helping the lost find peace and move on is truly inspiring. We eagerly await your next haunted tale on technological breakthrough. Until then, keep up the good work. You are on the air. Who am I speaking with?
I got through. And Danny.
Thank you for calling, Danny. What is your story?
I don't really know how to put this, but let's just say I have some interesting experiences that I need to share with you. I know it's not like a movie or anything like that. It's more like something out of my wildest dreams, It's something that's been burning inside me for years, and I feel like I can finally trust you enough to tell you my story.
Well, Danny, I can assure you that whatever it is, it sounds fascinating. Tell us more about these experiences and what makes them so special to you.
Well, it all started when I was out on a camping trip with my friends. We were just sitting around the campfire telling ghost stories, and suddenly, out of nowhere, we saw this bright light in the sky. It was like nothing we had ever seen before, and we were all completely mesmerized by it. As the night went on, the lights started to move around and form patterns. And then, something happened that I can't even put into words. It felt like the whole world stopped for a moment as these strange creatures appeared before us. They looked like nothing we had ever seen before, and they were so close that we could see their eyes glinting in the moonlight. I mean, it was surreal. We were just sitting there, surrounded by these otherworldly beings, and all we could do was stare at them in amazement. And then, just as suddenly as it had started, everything disappeared, and we were back under the stars with our campfire burning. It was like nothing I had ever experienced before. It was so surreal and bizarre that it feels almost dreamlike. And I can't help but wonder if there's more to this world than what we see every day. What other secrets are out there waiting to be discovered?
Wow, Danny, that sounds incredible. It's fascinating to hear about your experiences. Have you spoken to anyone else about what happened? Have you tried to find out more information about these strange creatures who lie in the sky?
Well, I haven't really talked to anyone else about it. I mean, who would believe me? It's not like it's something you can just tell people about and expect them to understand. But that being said, after the incident happened, I started doing some research on my own. And I found out that there are actually scientific explanations for what I saw that night. I mean, the light in the sky was actually a phenomenon called stellar parallax, where the stars appear to move because of our own motion in space. And as for the creatures, well, I don't know much about them, but I did find some references online to something called cryptozoology, which is the study of creatures that I've felt to exist but have never been scientifically proven. So it's possible that what I saw is just some kind of unknown creature, or maybe even a type of extraterrestrial life. It's hard to say for sure, but it definitely gives me something to think about. And who knows, maybe one day we'll find out the truth behind these strange occurrences.
Danny, I must say that it is impressive that you have taken the time to research and learn more about what you experienced. It seems like you are very curious and determined to find out the truth behind this mysterious event. Have you spoken with any experts in the field of cryptozoology or ufology? Have you considered reaching out to any government agencies or organizations that might be able to shed some light on this matter?
Well, I haven't really spoken to anyone in person about it yet. But I have been in touch with some online forums and communities where people share their experiences and knowledge about things like this. I mean, it's not easy to find information on these topics, but they've managed to gather some interesting insights. And as for reaching out to government agencies or organizations, well, I don't really know where to start. I mean, it feels kind of like a taboo subject that no one wants to talk about. But I guess if there is any chance that what I saw is real and not just an illusion or something else entirely, then I want to know the truth. And who knows, maybe my story can help others who have had similar experiences find their ways, the answers they see. I don't know, but it certainly feels like there's more to this world than we ever imagined. And I, for one, am excited to see where this journey takes me.
Danny, I can tell that you are very passionate about finding the truth behind your experiences. It is commendable that you have taken the initiative to research and learn more about this topic. Have you considered speaking with any experts in person or reaching out to any organizations that might be able to provide more information? And do you think there may be other people out there who have had similar experiences but are afraid to come forward?
Well, I haven't really had the chance to speak with any experts in person yet. but I have been in touch with some online forums and communities where people share their experiences and knowledge about things like this. I mean, it's not easy to find information on these topics, but I managed to gather some interesting insights. As for reaching out to organizations, well, I don't really know where to start. I mean, it feels kind of like a taboo subject that no one wants to talk about. But I guess if there's any chance that what I saw is real and not just an illusion or something else entirely, then I want to know the truth. And who knows, maybe my story can help others who have had similar experiences find their way to the answers they see. I don't know, but it certainly feels like there's more to this world than we ever imagined. And I, for one, am excited to see where this journey takes me. As for other people out there having similar experiences, well, it's hard to say for sure. Though I do think that there are probably more people who have seen or experienced things that they can't quite put into words. Maybe they're afraid to come forward or they just don't know what to make of it all. But who knows, maybe one day we'll find out the truth and everything will be clear. Anyway, thanks for listening, Art. It's been great talking to you about my experiences. I appreciate your time and attention on this matter.
Danny, it has been a pleasure talking to you about our experiences. Thank you for sharing your story and giving us a glimpse into what you saw that night. Who knows what the future holds for you on this journey of discovery. Keep us updated on any new developments and don't hesitate to reach out if you need someone to listen or share your story with. Have a great day, Danny. Greetings, you're on Riding the Wire. Where do you hail from?
Guess who's on the line? It's Martha.
Thank you for calling, Martha. What is your story?
You know, I'm an alien abductee and I've been counseling others who have gone through similar experiences. And let me tell you, it ain't easy. So I thought maybe by sharing my story, I could help someone else out there who might be feeling lost or confused.
Well, you're an alien abductee. That's crazy. Have you tried telling your story to anyone else before now?
I did try telling my story to a few people, but most of them just think I'm crazy. Let me tell you, when you're an alien abductee, it ain't easy to find someone who believes you. I guess that makes sense. Most people are too busy worrying about their everyday problems to believe in extraterrestrial beings. Anyway, the day happened was just like any other. I was out walking my dog, enjoying the beautiful Brooklyn weather, when suddenly a bright light appeared in the sky. At first I thought it was just the sun setting or something, but then I realized that something strange was going on. The light started getting brighter and brighter until it completely engulfed me and my dog. And that's when I saw them. The aliens. They looked like nothing I had ever seen before. Tall and skinny, with big green eyes and long, slender arms. At first I was terrified. I mean, who wouldn't be? But then something strange happened. The aliens started talking to me. Not in English, of course. But somehow I could understand them. It was like they were speaking my language. They told me that they had been watching us for a long time and that they wanted to learn more about their way of life. And you know what? They even asked if I would like to come with them to their ship. I mean, I was scared, but there was something kind of exciting about the whole thing too. So I agreed. And that's when things got really strange. The ship was unlike anything I had ever seen before. It was all shiny and sleek with buttons and levers everywhere. And the aliens, they were so advanced. They could do things that I never thought possible. But you know what the weirdest part was? The aliens started teaching me about their own language and culture too. And I found out that they weren't all that different from us after all. We both had families, we both had jobs, and we both had dreams. So yeah, that's my story. And who knows what else will happen in the future. Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, I'll always be ready for whatever comes next.
Martha, that's a wild story. Have you spoken to anyone about this since it happened?
Yeah, I've spoken to a few people about it. But most of them think I'm crazy. And you know what? They might be right. Who am I to believe that aliens exist and that they abducted me? Maybe it's all just in my head. But you know what? There's so many strange things happening in the world these days, I don't put it past anyone to believe in extraterrestrial beings. And who knows, maybe one day we'll finally make contact with them. Or maybe not. Who knows? But either way, I guess they'll always be ready for whatever comes next. And you know what else? Since my abduction, I've become a bit of an expert on all things alien. I mean, who better to learn from than the aliens themselves? So if you ever need someone to talk to about aliens or UFOs, just give me a bell. I'm always up for a good discussion. But until then, I'm just Martha the alien abductee living my life one day at a time. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Only time will tell.
Martha, that's an interesting story. Have you been in touch with any organizations or experts since your abduction?
Yeah, I've been in touch with a few organizations and experts since my abduction. But most of them think I'm crazy too. And you know what? They might be right. Who am I to believe that aliens exist and that they abducted me? Maybe it's all just in my head. But you know what? There's so many strange things happening in the world these days. I don't put it past anyone to believe in extraterrestrial beings. And who knows, maybe one day we'll finally make contact with them. Or maybe not. Who knows? But either way, I guess I'll always be ready for whatever comes next. And you know what else? Since my abduction, I've become a bit of an expert on all things alien. I mean, who better to learn from than the aliens themselves? So if you ever need someone to talk to about aliens or UFOs, just give me a call. I'm always up for a good discussion. But until then, I'm just Martha the alien abductee living my life one day at a time. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Only time will tell.
Thank you for sharing your story, Martha. It's truly fascinating, and I wish you the best of luck in finding answers to your question. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all be ready to welcome the aliens into our world. Until then, stay curious and keep an open mind. You're on the air. Who am I speaking with?
This is Scissor calling in for a chat.
Thank you for calling Caesar. What is your story?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and I reckon I gotta share something with you, you know. It's this government secret that I stumbled across while out in the bush, and I think it's worth sharing. But before we dive in, let me tell you, Art, this ain't like anything you've ever heard on a talk show before. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride.
Great, Caesar. I'm always up for a good story. And I must say your description of the secret you found is certainly intriguing. So tell me more about this mysterious government project that you stumbled upon.
Well, Art, let me spin you a yarn. So I was out in the outback checking my traps and all that jazz when I stumbled across a strange building hidden away from prying eyes. You know how it is out here. People try to keep their secrets well hidden. But what I found inside, well, let me just tell you, it was like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. The building was filled with all sorts of gadgets and gizmos, and there were these guys in suits running around muttering to themselves in strange languages. I managed to sneak around and overheard them talking about this top secret government project they were working on. And let me tell you, it was wild. They were trying to create a portal that could transport people to different dimensions or something like that. I mean, who does that? And the best part was they had this big old machine all set up and ready to go. But then, just as I was about to leave, I heard one of them say something that made me stop in my tracks. They said, "We have to hurry, Cesar. The portal is about to open, and who knows what might come through." And that's when I knew I had to share this with the world. I mean, how many people out there are living their lives completely unaware of the crazy things going on around them? So Art, what do you think? Should we expose this government secret to the world, or should we just keep it under wraps and hope for the best?
Well, Caesar, it sounds like you stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. And I must say, the idea of a portal that can transport people to different dimensions is certainly mind-blowing. But as much as I love to share this with the world, I think we have to be careful about what we're getting ourselves into here. You know how these things can go. One wrong move and we could end up with all sorts of the unintended consequences. So my question to you is, should we expose this government secret to the world, or should we keep it under wraps and hope for the best? What's your take on this?
Well, Art, you know me. I'm all for taking risks and pushing the boundaries. But at the same time, I have to admit that this government secret is a little more than I bargained for. I mean, we're talking about creating a portal that could potentially allow people to travel to other dimensions. That's a big deal. And as much